What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be figuring out who fights Ilia Topuria. There are so many contenders, so many people, right, that can contend for the title, some that can't, right? So we're just going to be talking about who the hell fights Ilia, but let's be honest. I was talking about, so many people. There's only really 3 or 4 people that deserve to contend for the belt. Batty, Arman, Gaethje. Okay? Let's talk about Gaethje. Right? If we're talking about Gaethje real quick. He thinks he deserves a title shot for being loyal, and he won 3 out of his last 4 in saying the BMF fight was an exhibition. Now, by that logic, your Dustin Poirier win doesn't count. So now you only have 2 wins over number 11 ranked Fiziev. Both times he was ranked number 11. I know the second one was on short notice. I can let it slide, but still, Fiziev versus Gaethje. Both of them was really close. I mean, they weren't close. The second time wasn't close, but I mean, again, Fiziev on 2 weeks' notice against Gaethje, against the number 3 ranked contender in the world. The first time was pretty competitive, and you could even argue it was a robbery, right? I just don't think Gaethje deserves it. I don't think it's good for business. I mean, at this point, there's more hardcores than casuals. We want to see Ilia versus Arman or Ilia versus Patty, which you'll find out which one I want at the end. You'll probably know which one I want. I think, let's talk about Arman. He's definitely the most deserving. I do get why Dana doesn't want him to be at the belt, though. Right? He did ruin the best of... With Arman and Islam, that would have been the best event of the year. And there's, basically no argument. Right? But now it's, number 3, number 4 best event in the year. You know what I'm saying? It was still a really good event, but Arman ruined it. Arman beat Charles. He did decline Islam 3 times, right? He declined Islam, but remember when Beneil Dariush pulled out, Arman was offered Islam. He did not want to fight Islam on a 3-month notice, 2-month notice. And he did not want to. He didn't take massive damage in the Charles fight either, and he did not want to. Obviously, he pulled out for UFC 311. So, yeah, that it is what it is, right? I personally think if anybody's gonna get the title shot, if anybody's the most deserving, we're talking about pound for pound, most deserving, it's got to be Arman Tsarukyan, right? I mean, if he beats Ilia, then he can be number 18 in the rankings, Lucas Tracy, but. Looking at his wins, just off the top of my head, Charles Oliveira, name 5 Arman wins right now. That's what I'm saying. Name 5 Arman wins right now. Charles, Joel Alvarez, Beneil Dariush, Matt Frevola. I can't name another one. All right, I cannot name another Arman Tsarukyan win. So, yeah. Patty the Batty. Again, now name 5 Patty the Batty wins, right? Jordan Levitt, Jared Gordon, Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green, and Michael Chandler. I can do it easily. And obviously, all those people are bums, Just imagine Patty versus Ilia in Spain, dude. They can really capitalize off this in 2026. It doesn't even have to be in 2025. But lay down Ilia for the rest of the year. Don't let Ilia fight for the rest of the year. If he is going to fight, make him fight like Arman. But I think Ilia beats all these people either way. But the fight I want is Patty Pimblett. I mean, dude, just imagine. They announced this fight 8 weeks before it happened. International Fight Week. Maybe not International Fight Week. The pay-per-view before or after International Fight Week. Something like that, because it needs to be in Spain. In 2026, they need to go to Spain. They've been talking about Spain since 2023. They need to go to Spain, right? So what I think they should do is, 5 press conference, Aldo versus Conor McGregor style, just every single week, right? First week, it can be England in Patty's hometown, right? Number 2, put it in Brazil. Put it in Brazil, bro. Make a press conference in Brazil, right? Week 3, put it in Vegas. week 2, you could put it in, like, maybe the States. Maybe you can do China, Georgia. I don't know. I'll do whatever you want for week 2, but we have to go to England, Brazil, and Vegas, and then obviously the last week, Spain, for all that, right? That would be generational. That would be generational. And then if you stack the card even more, like that's what I'm saying about like China. Like maybe you could put Ilia as the co-main event, like Ilia versus Venadajaroba. You can go to Brazil. Like it's not only about Patty Ilia. You can think about Debaroba, right? Her hometown in Brazil, or her home city, whatever, in Brazil, and then right Weili, China, right? That's where she's from. It's a disgrace that she's not even on the China card in like 3 weeks. Still, this is just a disgrace, right? So I think Patty should face him. Arman versus Gaethje should battle it out. And honestly, let's just pull up the rankings, man. Let's just pull up the rankings at this point. Let's just pull up the rankings for the lightweight division, right? I think Ilia should face Patty. I know it's crazy to say. And I know all of his wins combined creates a 0-13. Like that was their last wins or whatever. Like they were all on losing streaks, and the losing streaks combined was 0-13. I get that, but he had the most impressive performance against Michael Chandler, outsmarted Bobby Green, and Tony Ferguson. Yeah, everyone was saying Tony was gonna beat Patty. I was too. Everyone was saying Tony was gonna beat Patty. I'm just saying. Ilia versus Patty, Arman versus Gaethje, Max versus Charles should 100% be next. Again, people are talking about Max versus Ilia too. What? No, not Max versus Ilia too. Bro, I'm sorry to say, but Max doesn't have a chance against Ilia, bro. I was a believer the first time. I picked Max against Ilia the first time. But Ilia beats Max. Come on. Ilia literally flatlines Max in like a round. Come on. But anyways, Max versus Charles. Honestly, Hooker versus Dariush. I don't know, man. That's the thing. People talking about Hooker versus Arman. That's not a bad fight necessarily. Hooker versus Arman. But who does Gaethje fight? Fucking Mateusz Gamrot? No. If he's gonna retire after getting the title, he's not gonna. He's like, I know he's probably bluffing, and he'll probably will fight like an Arman. But still, like, bruh, he's not. He's definitely gonna retire if you give him Gamrot. But yeah, Hooker versus Dariush, Gamrot versus Fiziev 2, right? Fiziev lost via injury, so I think they should run it back, not as an Apex main event. Maybe they can actually go to Qatar with this fight. That'd be a good one. Moicano versus Joel Alvarez says he was moving up, but I don't even know anymore, bro. I think BSC is fighting Rufi, so Moicano versus Dawson? Moicano versus Chandler. Moicano versus Chandler? Right? Then we got Michael Johnson versus Bobby Green. Oh, no, Bobby Green already has a fight booked. Maybe, Edson Barboza versus Michael Chandler would actually be crazy. I think Grant Dawson versus Moicano. Joel's moving up. But if win or lose, Edson Barboza should fight Michael Chandler in the rankings, and then that would be his retirement fight. Make that a main event of Brazil. Or put that on the Ilia Patty card. I told you I could cook, bro. I told you I could cook, right? I told you, bro. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Who do you think fights Ilia? Leave it down in the comments down below. I think Patty should fight Ilia. It would be a generational card. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.